Hey guys, what's going on? I am back with another collab video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the movie reviews that I just posted. I did the Little Things movie review as well as the Dig. Apologies if I looked extremely tired doing the Dig movie review. I literally did that review around like 1 o'clock in the morning, so apologies. But my thoughts are, are as they are. They weren't filtered or, changed just because I was tired. So that's why I take notes during my screenings, just because or my viewings, because you never know when you are going to have to film that review. So you might as well have your notes laid out for you. So if you notice me just glancing at my notes the entire time during that review, that was just because I was just super tired, but I had my notes to help me get through it. So, um, but anyways, we have a lot of topics to talk about today. A lot of stuff happened, and we're just gonna get right into it because the first one I want to talk about has me really excited because I really like the look of this particular image. Of course, is the first look at Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana. The film Spencer, as it's called, the biopic of Princess Diana. They're now shooting it right now, and they have released an image from the film with Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana. And I believe that they're filming in London. I believe that's where they're doing right now. Um, so, and it's set. The film is set over the course. I'm reading it off of IndieWire. Um, the film is set over the course of a single weekend in Diana's life as she spends the Christmas holiday with the royal family and the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. The film tracks Diana's emotional journey as she comes to a decision to leave her marriage to Prince Charles. So yeah, so it's another one of those the week of stories like I think there was a what was the one with I think it was a Michelle Williams, the Marilyn Monroe film, My Week with Marilyn. I think that was what it was called. So it's one of those types of films, but um, I love the image. I think she looks great. I think Kristen Stewart completely transforms herself. I think that she uh, really captures that look of Princess Diana. I'm excited to hear the voice. I'm excited to see what she brings to the role. I love Kristen Stewart in general. I think that, again, she has a Robert Pattinson thing going for her. If you only know her based on Twilight, you need to watch some of her other work. She is a talented actress. Uh, she just recently did Happiest Season. I think that she was actually quite good in it. Yeah, so I think that I'm ecstatic to see her as Princess Diana. I can't wait to see what she brings to it. The other thing that has me excited about the film is the crew. The crew put together for this film is more what gets me excited about this film. It's being directed by Pablo Larraín, who directed Jackie, which I've not seen yet, but I've heard some really good things on. But the other things that got me really excited is that the director of photography is Claire Mathin, who did Portrait of a Lady on Fire. The costume designer is Jacqueline Duran, who did Little Women, Greta Gerwig's Little Women, and the composer is John freaking Greenwood, who did Phantom Thread, The Master, You Never Really Hear. So they have put together a great, great crew for this film. And that's the part that gets me super excited about the film is just hearing the crew that they have put together, particularly with the DP and the composer. Because I love Johnny Greenwood. I think Johnny Greenwood is probably my favorite composer working today, and that's a bold statement to say. Um, he is a talented, again, just to reiterate, Phantom Thread, The Master, You Were Never Really Here. These are all great, great scores, and I cannot wait to see what he brings to this. And Portrait of Land on Fire was just one of it was beginning was my favorite visual in terms of cinematography. The beginning was my favorite, but Portrait of a Lady on Fire was definitely right behind it. It is a beautiful looking movie, so I cannot wait to see what Claire brings to this, as well as Johnny. And the costumes in Little Women were honestly the best parts of Little Women. I mean, the performances were also strong, but the costumes were also the pieces that stood out the most to me. The setting, the design of the costumes, the layout of the production, those stuff was the most appealing factors to me. Of course, Gerwig's charm as well as with her direction and stuff. But um, overall, like I enjoyed Little Women a lot. But if I were to narrow down some of my favorite things about it, the costumes was definitely one of them. Um, so Yeah, I am super excited for this. I think all of this sounds great, and the picture looked really promising. She really looks like Princess Diana, like she's completely transformed herself, and I am excited to hear her voice and just to see a trailer. It's called Spencer, and I believe the reason why it's called Spencer, if I'm not mistaken, is because that was her middle name. I believe that's why they have the movie called Spencer. I could be wrong. Someone um, uh, please confirm if that's the case, because I think I might be wrong. And also, it's being written by Stephen Knight, who also did the screenplay for Locke, which was very good, and is also the showrunner and creator of Peaky Blinders. Um, so they've got a really good crew and a cast assembled, because I believe the cast is also they've announced as well, which is if I look down here, trying to find who the cast was, because I remember they announced a few names besides that, besides the crew, of course. I think that they announced some other people. Let me check real quick. I know that they announced more people than that. Let me see. Yes, so they have obviously Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana, and trying to see what else they got. I don't think that they've announced the other cast members yet. I could have sworn that I heard um, another name drop. I'm trying to remember what the name is. Um, I don't I don't know. I guess I was wrong on that. Let me look one more time. But yeah, just to reiterate while I'm researching, yes, I think that there's um, a lot of uh, potential with this, and I am ecstatic to see what they bring to this movie. Um, I'm gonna watch Jackie hopefully tonight, so I can just see how Pablo is as a director. I heard that film was actually quite good. So yes, let me see down here. Yes, here we go. So the cast also includes Timothy Spall, Sally Hawkins, that was the one that I was thinking of, and Sean Harris. So yeah, so they did announce some of the supporting cast as well. Um, so yeah, and I believe the Christian Stewart also went on to say that, in quote, this is from Variety, that Spencer is a dive inside an emotional imagining of who Diana was. So an imagining of who Diana was at a pivotal turning point in her life. It is a physical assertion of the sum of her parts, which starts with her given name, Spencer. So that's what the movie is, why the movie is called Spencer. It is a harrowing effort for her to return to herself as Diana strives to hold on to what the name Spencer means to her. So that's why the movie's called Spencer. That was her original name, and so it looks like it's going to be a story about self-discovery or self-rediscovery, which I'm all for. Especially with this cast and crew assembled together. I can go on and on about this, but I'm really excited to see this movie, and hopefully we will get some footage, hopefully later down the line this year, because they just started filming. So there you go. That was my thoughts on that. So let's move on to the other thing that dropped. This was actually that broke, I think, yesterday. Yesterday being the 30th. I'm recording this on the 31st, and this will be published on the February 1st. So if anything drops on February 1st, just put it in the comment section. I'll just make sure to tag it into the next, or put it into the next collab video. But the thing that dropped before I started recording was Cloverfield 2 has been announced. So Cloverfield 2 is officially in the works. It is going to be a direct sequel to the original. Joe Barton, who serves as a showrunner on HBO Max's Gotham PD series, which I believe was supposed to be Terrence Howard at one point, the showrunner of Boardwalk Empire. I think he was going to showrun it at one point, but then he left due to creative differences. As you know, that's the safe word to get out without hearing all the drama and all that stuff behind the scenes. But it's just to say creative differences. But anyways. Joe Barton, who is going to be writing the script, and J.J. Abrams is looking to be back as a producer. Um, they have confirmed that Cloverfield 2 will not be a found footage film like the original. They're going to be doing something completely different for it. Um, I think that my opinion on a Cloverfield 2 is this. I think that it just feels a little too late for me, especially coming off of two Cloverfield spin-offs, one of which I really liked, which was 10 Cloverfield Lane, and one of which I really didn't like, which was the Cloverfield Paradox. Um, I think that also the novelty of Cloverfield has kind of worn off, at least for me. Um, and I'm not really all that ecstatic for a sequel. I mean, I liked the first Cloverfield for the novelty that it was a found footage film and for it being, at least at the time, something that was attainable because we've seen this type of idea now done so many times. So to see a sequel in Cloverfield, I don't know what else you could bring to it, especially because I believe that the characters were killed off. I think that they were all killed off in the original. So you're technically not doing a sequel because in the vein of how sequels work, you would, you know, bring whatever was from the original into the sequel and adding new elements and all that stuff. You can't really do that. So I would assume that this is a spin-off, another spin-off of some kind, if you get it. Um, but they're saying that they're trying to make this more of a less a direct sequel. They're not trying to franchise this franchise anymore. Probably because Cloverfield Paradox was I just did not perform as well. Um, it was not received well by anybody. Um, So I am glad that they are announcing Cloverfield 2 before they start filming Cloverfield 2, because that whole marketing idea with 10 Cloverfield Lane worked for 10 Cloverfield Lane because it was a small budget film, nobody was expecting much from that film, and it came out and it was I think really well done. I think it was actually a very good thriller piece. It actually quite scared me at some points, that film, because of that claustrophobic and isolated nature that the film provided. Um, but the Cloverfield Paradox, I believe they marketed it like during the Super Bowl at one point, and then like 24 hours or at least like 2 hours later after they put out the trailer, they're like the movie's out, and then you watch the film and it's kind of like a not that well put together. Um, so I think at this point the novelty of Cloverfield, I think at least for me, it's worn off, and I'm not really that ecstatic for a Cloverfield 2. I'm not. I know some people probably are, but I'm not. Um, Especially when it's not going to be a found footage film. I think that was one of the strengths to Cloverfield and what made it so distinct and so unique is that it was found footage, or shot in a found footage style. Um, but now with that not being the case, I don't know. I don't know who you would get to direct this also. I mean, maybe like Fede, what's his name? Fede Alvarez, the guy who did Don't Breathe. Maybe he'd be a decent choice. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see where this goes. But I'm personally not all that ecstatic for it, to be honest. So, but that's just me. You guys let me know if you guys are ecstatic for a Cloverfield 2. I just been burnt by the Cloverfield Paradox, and I was just kind of drained after watching the Cloverfield Paradox. I was like, I'm kind of done with Cloverfield. I can kind of stop watching Cloverfield at this point, or stop caring about Cloverfield more, because I don't know. It just seems like it's weared off. I think it's just served its purpose, and I think that this franchise should just stay dead, to be honest. But if they want to do a Cloverfield 2, hopefully it's good. We'll see. Um, but speaking of things that we thought were dead but are actually still coming out, the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut. We've known now for a while is happening. But now we have a release date, which is March 18th. So that's when the Snyder Cut is supposedly going to be released, and and Zack Snyder has confirmed that he has finished his cut as well. So he's now officially done with post production. So now marketing will obviously be initiated probably with February coming around. So like I said, I don't know how to feel about them marketing a 4-hour feature. I don't know how that's gonna do with viewership. So we'll see how that works. I still think that you should probably handle this more as a 4-part miniseries, but if they want to go for the 4-hour film, that's fine. I don't know how creatively that's going to work out, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this except the fact that it's happening and they have a release date. So I mean, cool. so so yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say beyond that. So, but let's move on to the next WB/DC topic, which is Wonder Woman 1984. There's a couple of things that happened with Wonder Woman 1984 that I would like to talk about, more or less of how it performed. And HBO Max has revealed that Wonder Woman 1984 actually has helped them gain a lot more users, as was expected. It helped them gain 41 million users. It is also now the highest viewing also now has the highest viewing time for a feature on opening weekend, according to sources, on streaming, obviously. Um, but even though all that sounds great, I still am saying the same thing that I said for Raya and the Last Dragon and with Wonder Woman 1984, is that it doesn't change the fact that Wonder Woman flopped. It still doesn't change the fact of that. It still doesn't change the fact that it cost the studio millions of dollars in losses. Like it still doesn't change the narrative. Okay, like that's still what happened. I mean, this all still proves the point that I was making in my Raya video, which is that this did good business for the platform, but not for the film. And I think that idea is not good for films because we're probably going to now see films be more restricted with their budgets because of the losses that the studios are probably taking. But they think that this is worth the loss. They think that this is the future for them, which it is. I mean, we fast track streaming, so I mean, I as now being the main place for film, so I get it, but I still don't think this is a good business model, and I think that's really going to hurt them more than they think it's going to help them. And I just don't think that these reports don't really. I mean, it all sounds great for HBO Max. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is all good stuff for HBO Max. But in terms of Wonder Woman 1984, this is not good for the film, and it's still considered a flop by all accounts. So I don't let these headlines fool you. Don't let them make you think that, oh, the movie was a success. If you're viewing it just from the streaming platform, yeah, it was a success. It got them more viewership, it got them more users, it got more people to subscribe to their service. Yes, it did. That was definitely a success for the platform. But in terms of a film, in terms of making profit, it was not a success. It really was not that much of a success. And the only reason why they greenlit Wonder Woman 3 was because of how good it did for the streaming platform, not really how it performed as a film. That's why they greenlit Wonder Woman 3. Or with the deal that Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins got, that deal that where they were able to get 10 million or be able to get the money that they would get, assuming that the film was going to make like billions of dollars, that type of thing. They were guaranteed to get $10 million. I also guarantee you that within that deal, they were also guaranteed a green light for Wonder Woman 3. So that's probably what it probably also was, like a contractual agreement. You remember that deal? It was the one that, the Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot got, but everybody else was kind of thrown under the bus when the HBO Max deal got announced. So I think that's probably also what happened, that they just probably were contractually obligated to greenlight a Wonder Woman 3. That sounds more or less what it seems like. But yeah, this is still considered a flop, guys. Don't let the headlines fool you. This is still a flop by all accounts. This is still a flop. And don't let these headlines fool you. This is all good for the platform, but not good for the film. So you're probably not going to see a giant budget go towards Wonder Woman 3. I guarantee you that it's still going to be 100 million plus. Don't be fooled. But I guarantee you that budget's going to be a little bit smaller, just a little bit, not huge, but a little small, just because they're still facing losses from Wonder Woman 1984, huge losses. So I guarantee that the budget's probably going to be a little smaller, not significantly smaller, but just a tiny bit smaller. So, but speaking of streaming, let's change our gears from Wonder Woman or from Warner Brothers to Paramount Pictures. which we'll talk about now. Top Gun Maverick looks to not be going to streaming or to be delayed for now. This is what the Paramount president, Chris Arson, had said. He said, quote, we have no plans to move our theatrical release of Top Gun. I think the next 2 months are critical, and whether the new administration can implement a robust vaccination plan. If Biden's 100 million vaccines in 100 days works, then I think we'll be in good shape. So they have confidence that Top Gun Maverick will be released I assume it's July right now. I think that's the new date. I'm just going to fact check real quick. When is Top Gun Maverick supposed to hit theaters right now? July 2nd, 2021. Yeah, so in July. So again, assuming he's right. I mean, assuming the next 2 months, it would be kind of foolish for them to delay it now. I think that given our landscape right now, who knows? Maybe by May, because I think early projections show that we are going to see the effects of the vaccines really show themselves by May or July in the early summer. So I think that'd be a little bit foolish to delay the film. But who knows? Maybe they do need to delay it. I would not be surprised considering, because again, we live in very unprecedented times. So, if something does happen with the virus that causes everything to shut down again, the likelihood of this going to streaming, I would say it's right now very, very minimal. I don't think this thing will come out on streaming. The likelihood of it being delayed, though, that's a different story. I think that it's definitely likely to be delayed depending on the situation that transpires with the virus in the next few months. And of course, with the results of the vaccines being implemented. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I think that it's good to see that they are staying firm with it, unlike the other studios, which they're kind of just jumping ship with some of their projects, and they're just kind of just pushing them off into the next year or so. But we will see how this does. I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. I think the trailer looked fun. I'm mainly excited for the practicality of it. The fact that Tom Cruise, obviously, with his stunt work. And also with the camera, how they're using the cameras, the IMAX cameras within the cockpit, within the jets. I'm excited to see how that looks visually. I think that this would also be something that I would see in a theater. I would definitely go to the theater to see Top Gun Maverick, just because for that visual experience, especially seeing the behind the scenes for it. I definitely would want to see this in a theater. So yeah. Also, if it's safe, obviously, if I have to watch it through streaming or anything, if they allow it, so be it. But that's definitely a theater experience for me if it's safe. But yeah, everything he's saying is pretty much how I feel. If the vaccines are proving to work well, and we see the effects that hopefully projections are correct, and we see the vaccines helping, and by May we see the effects of it. It wouldn't be a bad thing to keep Top Gun Maverick in May. It'd be the beginning of drawing people back into the movie theaters, and Top Gun Maverick would definitely be a film that people would go and watch in the theater. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick, and it's definitely a theatrical. That's definitely something that should be staying as a theatrical release. In my personal opinion, that should stay as a theatrical release. So I feel like that would definitely get people back into the theater. So, speaking of sequels, let's talk about our last topic for today, which is Baby Driver 2 is now written. Edgar Wright has confirmed that he has finally written Baby Driver 2. He said, in quote, "It's written. I've written like 3 drafts of it. You've got fans on social media asking, what's happening with blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's a global pandemic, right? So basically, yeah, he's confirmed that he's written the film. It's now done. He's also confirmed within that statement that production is not going to be happening anytime soon. So don't expect this thing to begin filming for a while, because I believe he's still working on his next feature, which is Last Night in Soho, which is like a horror film of some kind. And I believe it was delayed to like October of this year. I also think he just premiered a documentary at Sundance. So he's still got other things that he's working on. So Baby Driver 2 is like down the pipeline. There are reports that obviously Ansel Elgort will return, Lily James. I think John Berthenol will also return in some capacity. Um, so he didn't get killed off, did he? No, I don't think he got killed off. So I don't think he did. It's been a while since I've watched Baby Driver, but I love Baby Driver. Baby Driver was one of my favorite experiences in a long time in the theater. I had a blast with it in the theater. So I'm excited to hear that they're doing a sequel. Hopefully, it is not watered down. Hopefully, they still keep that energy that they did with the first one. They still have it fun. They still keep that creativity. Um, and I hope that editing wise, it's still relatively the same as well, because that was what made Baby Driver so unique, was the editing technique of cutting within beat of song. So hopefully they keep that style with the sequel. Um, but yeah, it's good to know that it's written, and that's finalized. Just hopefully it'll begin filming soon, probably next year, more than likely. But I don't think it'll film this year, or maybe it will film this year, but not until like later this year. So, but that is pretty much it for today, guys. We talked about Princess Diana, Cloverfield 2, bunch of things going on with WB and Paramount in terms of like the streaming platforms, and of course Baby Driver 2 getting written. So, you guys let me know all your thoughts about these topics today. And it's kind of a short video today, so just kind of breeze through all this stuff today. Um, but you guys let me know all your thoughts about all this stuff, and this video will probably be up for a few days. I don't know if anything big pops up, obviously, and I will do a separate video on it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video, and hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys let me know your thoughts about Kristen Stewart's Princess Diana. I am just excited for that film. That looks really, really good, really, really promising. But and also, you guys let me know, do you guys feel cool about like a Cloverfield 2 coming out? Because I don't know, I'm not that excited for it, but that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until the next video, whatever that may be safe, be protected, be social distance, and that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.